Hi everyone, welcome to Medicine for the Soul. My name is Sarah. This is part 1 of the Gentle Core Strengthening series. You just need yourself and your mat. Let's get started. Welcome to part 1. I did just want to give a little intro of what this series will be and what we're focusing on before we really dive into our practice today. So you may hear in a lot of your classes, engage your core, or you hear a lot about core strength and what is that? We're talking about our deep core muscles, and this course, this series, is going to help you get in touch with what that means and what that feels like in your body. How we engage those core muscles is so important in strengthening and just in everyday life, picking up a box, getting up off the floor, everything. You can prevent a lot of injury by just having that knowledge. So gentle core strengthening, because we want to take it slow so we can really get in tune with our bodies and see what this feels like to use our core and engage our core. So that's what we'll be doing today and throughout the series. So let's get started. Seated on our mat in a comfortable position for you. We're just going to take a second to transition into our practice today. You can close your eyes, hands can come to your knees or heart center. You can have one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Let's roll our shoulders back and down, sitting nice and tall. Imagine there's a string pulling the crown of your head towards the ceiling. And take a few deep breaths in and out through your nose. After your next breath, you can flutter your eyes open, and let's inhale, arms up. At the top, left hand reaches for your right wrist. Exhale over to the left, and you can gaze right, being sure that you're still grounded through both sits bones. Nice deep breath into that right side body. And come back to center. Inhale, arms up again. Right hand grabs your left wrist. Exhale over to the right. Gaze left. Again, making sure you're grounded through both sits bones. After your next breath, you can come back to center. Let's bring our right leg out to the right. Left leg can stay folded in. Let's inhale, left arm up. Exhale, reach over to the right. Slide your right hand down towards your ankle or your foot and gaze left. And after your next exhale, come back up to an upright position. Switch sides, left leg out to the left. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, reach over to the left. Left hand slides down to your ankle or foot and gaze right. Shoulders away from your ears. One more deep breath in and out through the nose. And coming back to center, back into your comfortable seated position. Hands come to your knees, sitting nice and tall in the center. We'll inhale through the nose. Exhale, we're going to come down and around and back up. And working with your own breath at your own pace. Some circles here to warm everything up, warm up our core, wake up our digestive system, waking up our lower back, and switch direction. Great to do any time of the day, especially when you're first waking up. Let's do 2 more in this direction. And we'll transition to our backs. So keeping your knees bent, feet flat on your mat, we're gonna come into some pelvic tilts. So this is where you're gonna be able to kind of understand where your deep core muscles are. So these pelvic tilts are really great exercise just for getting in tune with what that feels like and when to engage and how to engage. So we're in this neutral position. There's space underneath your lower back because we have a natural curve to our spine that's supposed to be there. So this is our neutral spine. And so when we do our tilt, it will be on an exhale, and we're going to tilt our pelvis towards our body. And if there were a bowl of water sitting on our pelvis, it would spill all over us. So imagine that's how much you want to tilt. So you can keep your hands right on your hips right here. That's helpful for me. And we'll inhale, and on the exhale, you want to imagine drawing your hip bones together as you tilt. So let's try. Inhale, exhale, drawing those hip bones together, feeling those deep core muscles. And inhale, neutral spine. On our exhale as well, we want to draw our belly button down towards our spine. Neutral spine on the inhale. And exhale, tilt. Remember to relax your shoulders. Mine always tense up doing this. So do a few more of these at your own pace, really paying attention to what this feels like for you. So much of core work is really just about getting in touch with our bodies. And let's do one more. And come back to a neutral spine. Lift your right foot off the mat and come into a tabletop position. Lift your left foot off the mat, matching that. You can have some space in between your knees, about a fist width distance. And here you can, for our next exercise, our next movement, you can place your hands underneath your seat if it helps your lower back, if you have any pain there. So for this next one, we're going to inhale here. And on the exhale, so we're going to inhale down. And on the exhale, we're going to come back up. So we're touching our toes to the mat. Inhale on the way down. Engaging those abdominal muscles on the way back up with the exhale. Trying to keep your pelvis as still as possible. Keeping your knees bent like this the whole time. It looks like a very easy, subtle movement, but there's a lot of work going into this. So inhale on the way down. Drawing the belly button in towards your spine, drawing those hips together. On that exhale, inhale down. Exhale on the way back up. Our breath work is so important with core work as well. When we're engaging our core muscles, we want to be on the exhale. Let's do one more on each side. And hug your knees in towards your chest. Rock side to side if that feels good. And we're going to stay here on our backs. We're going to come into some bicycles. So we're going to interlace our hands behind our heads, and we're going to imagine that we want to draw our knee in towards our armpit. It might not get there, but that's the energy we want to bring to this. And while we're drawing our knee into our elbow, we want to imagine that our rib is being drawn towards our hip. So can we draw our belly button in towards our spine while imagining we're trying to connect our hip, our rib to our opposite hip? These are the muscles that we're going to want to engage. So let's begin. Let me readjust here. Let's begin. Inhale. Exhale, drawing left knee to right armpit. Inhale. Exhale, left armpit to your right knee, or vice versa, wherever you're at. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, drawing that rib over to your hip. These can be very slow. You're going to feel a lot more where your strength is coming from the slower you do this. Let's do one more each side. And release. You can shake out your legs, shake out your arms. Let's come onto our side. You can prop yourself up onto your elbow. So legs are stacked. You can bring them slightly forward if that is more comfortable. And for this next movement, it might be helpful to keep your hand on your hip. So I like to bend my bottom leg when I'm in this position. It helps my hip. So we're going to lift our top leg slightly. And so for this next exercise, we're going to try to keep our core and our hip pelvis as stable as possible. It's going to be a very subtle movement. We're going to kick forward just as far as we can go before we want to arch our back or move our pelvis, and kick back, pointing your toes. Again, just as far as you can go before you want to move the rest of your body. You can inhale, kick in the front, exhale, bring it back. Engaging those deep core muscles. A lot of core work too, in my experience, is just subtle movements and trying to stay as stable as possible. It's a lot of work. It doesn't look like it, but it is. Let's do 2 more here. Last one. And stack both legs bent on top of each other. Push yourself up and reach over to the opposite side. And switch sides. Gotta switch my microphone back. Okay. Again, feel free to bend your bottom leg. I always do. So lift your top leg slightly, keeping your hand on your hip if that helps. And kick forward. and back. Keeping your trunk as stable as possible. That's the trick. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, point your toes and bring it back. Let's do 3 more. One. Slow movements are key here. 2. 3. And stack your knees on top of each other. Push yourself upright. And we're going to reach over to the opposite side. Great. And come on to your belly. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. So shoelace side of your feet on the mat. Pelvis pressing slightly into the mat. Your shoulder is over your elbow. Forearms parallel to each other, gazing forward. Imagine that string pulling the crown of your head towards the ceiling. Shoulders down and away from your ears. And breathe. In strengthening our core and using our core muscles, it is equally as important to stretch them out. And this is a great way to do that. One more breath here. And bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale into downward facing dog. Let's pedal out our feet, pedal our legs out. Get a nice hamstring stretch in here. And let's inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee towards your left wrist. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee towards your left wrist. One more time. Inhale, up and back. Right knee to left wrist. Inhale, up and back. And right foot to the mat. Pedal it out. Nice deep breath. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, left knee towards your right wrist. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to wrist. One more time. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to wrist. Inhale, up and back. And exhale, bring your foot to the mat and pedal it out, or whatever feels good for you. Let's do one more deep breath here. And bring your knees to the mat. Coming into child's pose, take your knees wide. Push your seat back, reach for the top of your mat. Forehead comes to the mat. And breathe. Imagine your tailbone reaching down to the mat. Crown of the head reaching for the top of your space. Nice deep breaths, expanding your ribs on the inhale. Emptying completely on the exhale. One more breath here. And lift your forehead off of the mat. Walk your hands back so you're in an upright position. And come to a comfortable seated position. And we'll inhale, arms up. Exhale, left hand to your right knee. Right hand comes behind you in a twist and gaze out over your right shoulder. Sitting tall, shoulders down and away from your ears. Nice deep breaths in and out through your nose. On your next exhale, come back to center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right hand to your left knee. Left hand comes behind and gaze out over your left shoulder. On your next exhale, come back to center, and we're going to move on to our backs. So gently lower down. Let's hug our knees in towards our chest. Maybe rock side to side a little bit if that feels good. And bringing your legs long down your mat, reaching your arms up overhead. Bring your left leg out to the left slightly. Right leg follows. And reach over to the left, clasping your hands together. If you'd like a deeper twist, stretch, you can cross your right ankle over your left. One more breath here. And walk your feet and your hands back to center. Bring your right leg out to the right. Left leg follows. And reach both arms over to the right. And breathe. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders. One more breath here. And bring it back to center. Hug your knees in towards your chest. One more time. And shine the soles of your feet towards the ceiling, keeping your knees bent in happy baby. Grab the outsides of your feet. You can also grab your shins, ankles, whatever is feeling good and accessible for you today. And rock side to side if that feels nice. And you can release, coming into our final resting pose. You can extend your legs down the mat. You can also come into a constructive rest pose with your knees bent and your feet flat on the mat. Arms can come down by your side in a low V, palms facing up. You can also do one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Let's close our eyes, let our practice sink in to our bodies. Let your chest fall open, relax your shoulders. Relax your forehead and your jaw. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Filling your chest and then your belly on the inhale, and emptying your belly, and then your chest on the exhale. Let's do one more deep breath together. Let's breathe in through our nose and sigh out through our mouth. Shavasana. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, deepening your breath again. Roll over onto your side, keeping your eyes closed. Taking a deep breath here. And using the exhale to push yourself up to a seated position, bringing your hands to heart center, keeping your eyes closed. Deep breath here. And bring your thumbs to your third eye. The light in me recognizes the light in all of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you for part 2.